Hi everybody, Liz here, thanks for stopping by. So the long-awaited sealing video, yay! I think I'm going to have to split this into two, otherwise it could be a mammoth video that lasts hours and hours and hours. Yeah, I got everything out that I needed to seal, well, nearly everything out that I needed to seal, and then I thought, oh goodness. So what I'm going to do is pick out certain ones. So we're doing a variety of different things, so you can see me doing different ones, different materials, different things, and how I seal them and what we do. I think that's probably the best way to go. I've collected all my coasters together. So we've got like the wooden ones there, and then I've got some more wooden ones here, and some acrylic ones, so we can see the difference in those. I think that's a wooden one, so that wants to go with the woodens. So I've got two lots of acrylic. Are they all acrylic? Yeah, they're all acrylic. And a couple of lots of the wooden ones. Right, so I can do those. I've got a sticker, okay. Which, look, the diamonds are starting to come off it already, look. Yeah, so this is what happens when you don't seal. Oh my goodness, loads have come off. Oh look, you see, this is what happens. This has been stored in my basket, and all these gems, all these crystals, because I've not had it sealed, have all pushed off. It is still sticky, so I will be able to put the gems back on, but it looks like I've lost a few, so I can't seal this one today because I do need to put these gems back on. Yeah, I've got some, the purple ones are from there, and then I've got black ones to put on as well. So yeah, and this is what happens, and I am, as I say, very clumsy, and yeah, I tend to look, there's another one that's moved there as well, and this is why I like to seal. With the best will in the world, this is only still a tacky surface that you're putting a gem onto, and if some force gets behind that or shoves against it or just, I don't know, gets stuck to it or whatever, it's going to push your gems off. So actually that wasn't planned, but it's quite a good illustration of what can happen. My poor little sheep. I still love them though. Ba-bum. Oh look, and I've missed a couple off here as well. So yeah, this has really well and truly been through the mill. Sheep wool mill. Anyway, I shouldn't laugh at my own jokes. Terrible habit. So yeah, I need to just redo that one a little bit before I put the sealer on. But if I had put the sealer on when I did it, I wouldn't have had this problem. A few people have asked me, does sealer dull down the shine? Now, if you were with me at Christmas when I was testing out the difference between the Craft Buddy normal sealer and the Shimmer sealer, sorry, the normal sealer and the Shimmer sealer, read the labels, Liz, then you will have seen these little gnome coasters, little gonk coasters that I did at Christmas time. Yeah, so this is the Shimmer. I think you can sort of see, it's got like a, you can see like greeny glitter, yeah, you can, in amongst those gems there, the drills. So I wasn't overly keen on that. I think if you've got something that can lend itself to having like greeny glittery shimmer on it, then fine. But then these are just the standard ones, and as you can see, there is plenty of shine on those drills. It makes no difference whatsoever sealing. Well, it doesn't to me anyway. If you know any different, let me know. But yeah, so far, anything, because it dries clear. It's like a varnish, but it dries clear. And it's a little bit pliable as well. So these were all the Christmas gonks. Yeah, did I put glitter on that one? No, I didn't. But they are very, very glittery and shiny. And I have tried glow-in-the-dark drills as well. And your glow-in-the-dark do still glow in the dark after they've been sealed. So just a few little tips there. I have got an experiment video from a couple of years ago now, when I more or less started YouTube, should I say, and I wanted to know, you know, I started sealing things, and I thought, oh, I wonder if that's going to affect my glow-in-the-dark drills. I aren't going to use glow-in-the-dark if I can't seal them. And so I did a little experiment, and we got quite a bit of glow-in-the-dark, and that's when I got my glow-in-the-dark glue. And it was just glowing at me on the shelf. Right, okay, so let's have a look. So we've got our coasters to do. Right, so I've got a glasses case to do. I don't think I've sealed that. Have I? No, I haven't. You can still move them. Some of the glues, like everything else, are a little bit stronger than others. Your gems, your crystals still can get pushed. Look, you can still push them off. So sealing is basically like grouting. You put in the sealer in between the crystals, not necessarily over the top, so that it's locking them all into place, locking them all together, so that when something butts up against them, you're not taking it off. This one and this one, they're all more or less the same material. So let's do this one because there's got a few different types of gems on there, and it's got some iridescent coated teardrops, so we can see that they still glow afterwards. So that's those. So we've got a bag to do. We'll do a little key ring because that one needs sealing on both sides, so I'll have to do one side, let it dry, and then do the other side. That's another coaster, still got all its gems with it. That's a bookmark, so we'll do that one. It's similar sort of material to the bag. And this is a hanging little pockets. I wonder why I've left the crystals in these. Not quite sure. This one was from New Craft Day in, is that March or May 22? I got this one. But it has been sat around for quite a while, waiting. I've still got some specials in there as well, look. Waiting to be sealed. So, right, I need to look through those. And yeah, it's just basically 3 little pockets. I mean, it's material, but it's not material. It's like the purse. So that one needs doing. That's the little ribbon that goes with it, and the little dowel rod that goes in the top. It's a hanging pocket. You put that through there. You knot your ribbon on each side, and then you can hang the little pockets wherever you want to hang them from tying your ribbon. At the moment, I've got one hung on my bed head that has my remote control for the TV in it, because the remote control for the TV, if you're ever looking for it, it's usually under the dog, because she sleeps on the bed with us. And for whatever reason, she always seems to end up laying on the remote control. So she can't anymore because it's hung up. So that's that one. I thought I'd have a go at doing this because this will be a little bit trickier. Look, that gem's moved there as well. So we'll have a go at doing that one because it's got all this cut out area around the edges. Fortunately, or is it? No, it is a little bit sticky in some of the areas, so we'll see. We've got a little pocket. See if we get on with that. Oh, somebody asked me about sealing the notebook, so we'll have a go at sealing the notebook, okay, because that's got like a shiny surface in the background. The mirror, yeah, we'll do maybe one. And then what shall we do? We'll do the sugar skull. Oh, which is the stickiest? Which is the stickiest? Oh no, I'll do my Pikachu because this one is a present for somebody. So I want to get this one done and get it gifted because I've got all my little chaps look to do. And my wolf, I've just seen a new version of the wolf with a Christmas snow globe with the wolves in. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. That's the plasticky stuff for the cup. That's the, oh look, they've all moved, gosh. This hasn't been successful storing these, just throwing them all in a pile, in a little basket, ready to seal. So I am going to have to start doing my sealing a bit more regularly. Maybe as I do them would be better. I might even have one missing from there. Oh no, it's just not, it's just moved across a bit. So yeah, it's a good job I'm checking before I'm doing them, because literally once they are sealed, they are very solid, and once they're down, they're down. So just give those a little bit of a push as well, because there's guide circles on this, so you can see the little numbers underneath. Right, so that's that one, and it has got the sticky edge there. I think that's to keep it so that when you wrap it round you can stick it together. They've done it that way, so it has got a sticky edge, so I'm not going to seal that. Now then, there's a gem just leapt off there, and I'm hoping I haven't got a gap. If you do find though that you lose a gem and you have got a gap, just get a very fine brush, put a little bit of sealer in the place of where the gem needs to go, and then put the gem there, and it will seal into that little gap, because I've done that a few times as well. It depends how vigorously you brush these, to be fair, when you're doing them. Right, so let's see how we get on. I think that's probably one of the gems off my sheep, so not that I particularly need those. Now then, that one is my robin that I did last Christmas, although I do think you could put that out all year round. I absolutely love this one. It is one of my favourites. If there is any that you see that you want the details on, let me know, because a lot of them will still be available. So we'll just do Pikachu for now, and then these are the acrylic ones, so we'll do the acrylic. That one is my sunflowers. So we've got a little bit of a mixture to have a go at anyway for now. Now I'm running out of space to put anything. So let's have a look at these coasters first, because we're going to do a little bit of a comparison. So I've got my Crystal Art Shimmer Sealer, which I've had to, it's a little bit sticky because I've had to go and unclog the lid on this one. Yeah, what you really need to do when you do these, when you finish using these, is actually just put a little bit of, saran wrap, I think the US call it, or cling film around the top, and then it doesn't get stuck. But as you can see, I wipe my brush on mine, so it ends up quite sticky. But you do need to put your lids on, because they will dry out. Right, okay, just put that on there, so I'm all nice and gooey before we even start. I was going to do my nails last night, and I thought, no, I'm not going to do my nails, because I just know they're going to end up absolutely trashed. Right, so that's one of those, and I think they're just all standard crystals. Yep. So more crystals. Right, so we've got the shimmer sealer, we've got the normal sealer that I use all the time, we have a Mod Podge outdoor exterior one. We have the diamond painting sealer. One of them came from Amazon, and I think one of them came from AliExpress. I've got a standard Mod Podge, and then I've got this one that has the brush end. Oh, I've just taken off. As I say, if there's a right way and a wrong way to do anything, I will always find the wrong way. And I'm pleased I did that, because this one has a... Now then, does it have a... Yes, it has a spike in the lid, look. So you just literally use the spike in the lid to just poke through there, so that the sealer will come through. Do you know, I don't think that's poked through very well at all. Let me just grab a little pokey tool. This is all going to just clog up if I leave it like that. So I am just going to peel it off a little bit and see where we end up. Right, so what I might do then is a comparison of the sealers and do the coasters, and then I'll do a separate video on everything else. I think that will probably work out best. So let me just give that a wipe. Okay, and the coasters are one of the easiest things to do. So does this one have a sealer on it? No, it doesn't. God, that's not very full. There's not much in there. Do you know, I'm looking at this and it says it's 100 mils. And I would think if the sealer actually comes up to about that level, that's all it does. There's not much in there at all. Okay. So now then, we decided that that one needed... Oh no, it has got a hole in the end. Right, it has got a hole, so that's fine. So that's that one. This one, does this have anything on it? Should have done all this before we started, look. Just bear with me a second. So that we're all opened up. Right, that's the Mod Podge. And this is the outdoor one. And yeah, I'm nearly called off today because it decided to choke it down. Oh, look. Oh, that's going to be fun. Hang on. That's it. yeah, I was just about to come upstairs because it was lovely and sunny and bright and gorgeous. And then the heavens opened. We've had thunder and lightning. We had thunder and lightning last night. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning. Sat downstairs with poor little Millie Moo because she doesn't like thunder. Millie Moo's our little Scottish Terrier. To anybody that's new here, hello. And everybody else, welcome back. Oh, I've got this stood here as well. I've got my little flip-flops and my little October sign there. Right. Let's just move all these out of the way. So we have 6 different sealers. I've got 5 brushes there, and then I'll have to pick one of my others. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are these all B ones? Let me have a look. Oops. These are all my B coasters. So I think this might be in a set of 10. So we'll maybe do a couple of each sealer, so that I'm not wasting it and not messing about quite so much. These really, if you're going to be using them actually as coasters, they do really need sealing on the back as well. But obviously the front needs to dry first. So let's have a look at these. And then when I've done them, I will have to then go and put them somewhere else, because they will need to dry. So what I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, they're just 2. Well, that's a wooden one as well. That's just an odd one that you can buy individually. I love that. Reminds me of raspberries. So these are wooden as well. Right. Okay, yeah, I wasn't keen on these. Actually, I might try doing the crystal sealer on these because there's quite big gaps in between. And I'm just wondering what the green sealer will look like in between. Yeah, I think it's because it's the plain wood colour that I wasn't keen on these when I did them, because there's too many gaps underneath. And it really does look gappy. It looks like you've missed bits. Okay, so that's all the wooden ones, I think. Yeah, I've not got as many acrylic ones, but I do like the acrylic. And with the acrylic ones, you don't really need to seal underneath because they're already sealed. It's just the top so that they don't go through the gems. Right, the brushes are more or less the same. I've got 3 of the pink ones and 2 of the white ones. They are just the acrylic bristles, which dry really, really well. You do want quite a soft brush. You don't want anything really hard because it will push your drills off. Let me just move those out of the way over there. And I did find some really, really cheap children's painting brushes, and these are all acrylic. And actually, these are pretty good because these are really soft as well. And they had some little bit smaller ones, so if you're wanting to get into like little tricky bits, it's a little bit easier to use. You do need some little finer ones as well. Really, you know, like when I'm doing the sunflowers and things, some of the bits are quite fine, maybe 1 gem along, and you don't want to be splodging loads on it. So yeah, you need some a bit finer. But they were, I think they were something like £1 for a huge pack of just children's painting brushes, and I thought, oh well, they'll do. They're really, really good. Okay. I've got my plastic tweezers. So they're really good for just holding things. Now I have got these, but I tend to find I don't really like using the sponge ones. I might have a go because I have used them before and I wasn't keen. And I found it wasn't as easy to wash it out of the sponge ones. And that is an actual Craft Buddy brush as well, which I think these are a bit too good to be using for sealing things. These really are more of a painting brush to me. But anyway, so that is those over there. Right, where shall we start? Let's start with the B. Now, these were particularly tacky because all of the edges were tacky as well. So these really do need sealing, even if you weren't using them as coasters. They're just so tacky because they've just put the glue all over the whole thing, not just where the gems went. You can see, look on this, that's just the plain wood. like they've done on the butterflies. And then on this, they've actually coloured slightly under the black, a little bit under the silver, and then they've put like a yellowy colour underneath the bee, so you don't get that real, there's loads of gaps in it. Right, where shall we start? Where shall we start? Okay, well, let's line them up. And let's go 1 to 6. Oh, look, that's stuck to there already. I'm having to put that there because, say, when I took the lid off, it was, I think it might be all right now. Yeah, just if you do find that your lids stick, just run them under hot water. Obviously, you know, be careful, don't burn yourself. But I found that just sort of like just getting hot enough as if you were getting into the bath is quite fine for doing that. Look, I'm covered in glitter as well. Yeah, you can see the little sparkles of the glitter. My nails need doing, but as I say, I aren't doing them purely because doing this sealer, I'll probably end up with some stuck to my nails. So then, see, normally with the tubs, I just dip in and put the glue over the top, but this one, we're actually going to be, I think, squeezing it out. So let's see how far it goes. I've got my 2. Oh, this is clear. Okay, so this is a clear, rapid curing, multi-purpose, all-in-one sealer. Oh, that's not good because that means I can't see what I'm doing. Right, I do prefer the white that dries clear. I will say that because, yeah, I can't see where this is going. So my eyesight's appalling. It's quite dark in here. I suppose I could tip some out. So I can't really see how far it's going. Let me just lift it up, so I'm lifting it to the light a bit more. Yeah, and one lady said to me, do the gems come off when you diamond paint them? No, if you've got a soft enough brush and you're not really digging into it, then no, they don't. So I would think that that is probably enough. It does go a little bit dull, look. You can see now where the sealer is going. It is going a little bit dull. So I can see slightly where it's going, but that isn't something that I like. I like to have the white and I can see where it's going. Okay, so let's... Now it says fast curing. So it's gone white underneath. So it'll be interesting to see how that one dries. Okay, I really ought to be marking these, hadn't I? I'm going to put that one there. And then I will do an acrylic one though, just so that we can compare. And then we'll see how we get on. Yeah, I ought to have written on the back. Okay, see, I might be using too much. I might be using too little. Make sure every rhinestones are covered. Your painting will form a white protective layer after applying the glue. Rest assured, after 30 minutes, it will disappear to leave your work clear and shiny. Sorry, they've put LE there and EVA at the end there. After multiple uses, clean the sponge applicator to let it dry. Right. Okay, so it needs to go white then. So, different this one. As I say, it's not one that I've used before. As you can see, I'm not being particularly gentle, but I aren't using a great deal of force either. So, yeah. And, yeah, one lady has said to me she doesn't see why people actually seal and why you can't just use spray adhesive. Oh, yeah, I see. So as it's activating, it goes white, so you can see a little bit where it's gone. I think I've now used too much, possibly. It's very, very different as to how it's going on. I've seen people use hairspray, but that actually starts going yellow if you're not careful. As it ages, it can go yellow. I'm on a little... yeah, I have definitely used too much on this. Right, so you don't really need very much. Again, it's trial and error when you're using something new. Yeah, so I don't know, I prefer this way, painting it on, because then you know it's getting in between every gem. I think with aerosols, you do need to really do it outside as well, which I wouldn't have been able to do today. I mean, it is personal preference. And yes, to the lady that said that, it is exceptionally faffy to have to get everything out. I'm just going to go over this again then with the excess from this one and make sure I've fully covered everything and the edges. To have to do this, and it is time consuming, but you don't have to do everything, and you don't have to do any of it if you don't want to. You don't have to seal anything, but I want mine to last, and I am gifting quite a few of mine, so I do want people to be able to use them and reuse them. I don't want them thinking, well, I can't use that because yeah, it's gone funny. Right, so that's that one with that brush. Okay, so the next one is this one with the dabber on it. So we'll see how we get on with this one. Oh my goodness, that's way too much. So I'll have to do definitely a couple with this one. That came out a lot faster than I was expecting. I'm just going to take some of this off with this brush, and then we'll have a go at using the dabber, because that just, yeah, whoa. So to me, in texture and everything, it appears as though this is exactly the same as the one that I've just used. And I don't think I'm overly impressed. Yeah, I don't like the fact that it's clear because I can't see it. It's very runny, as you've just seen. I don't like pouring the stuff out onto the project. I prefer to just pick up the small amount and add more and more if I want to. I mean, it is user error that all blobbed out, and as you know, good old Liz. Yeah. Oh dear me. Right, so that's that brush. Let me just have a go at using this end then. So yeah, I suppose I squeezed it and I maybe shouldn't have done. Now to me, this brush, this sponge, it's sort of getting in between, but I don't feel as though, I don't know, I don't feel as in control as much as I do when I'm using a brush. Now this one hasn't gone white as I've used it. This is staying clear, so that's a little bit worrying. Somebody did ask me about resin as well. Now, I think resin may form like a sheen on top of it unless you get it really thin. I'm not quite sure. I don't think I would use resin as a sealer on these. Maybe you ladies that do resin pouring and things can let me know what you think to that. But you wouldn't get the bumps, it would just literally lie flat. But whether it would lie flat and not go over the edges, I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm not overly keen on that one, I have to say, using that sponge. I suppose like anything, you will get used to it. Yeah, no, you see that one's gone white. Oops, it's sticking to that one. That one hasn't, that one has stayed clear. Squeeze the glue onto your diamond painting. Tilt the glue at 45 degrees to apply with the sponge head. Wait at least 30 minutes for fully cured. Right. Please keep swiping in one direction. Oh, right. Do not rub it back and forth. Do not expose the glue to sun. Oh, it gets sunburnt. Store in a cool, dry place. Do not contact the skin and fingers. Right, it may form a white film first, but it will go clear. Right, okay, so is it going white? No, not really. So that's that one and that one. Right, let's keep shoving you up a bit this way, guys. I really ought to have had a little pot to wash my brushes in, hadn't I? Okay. Right, put that one. Stay. I can't balance that one on the top of the spiked one. Right, so next we have Mod Podge. Yeah, I mean, quite a few people swear by this. Yeah, Christina was saying to me, why 99% of sealers are paste or just something you need to spread on your canvas. She'd prefer a spray, so you don't have to rub it all over the drills, potentially lifting some of them if the stick was poor, or getting puddles or bubbles. Oh dear, puddle. A spray doesn't involve any touch and just seems a smarter option, or am I missing something? Yeah, as I say, I'm a little bit funny with sort of sprays and things to make sure that you do get it evenly. Sprays can clog, sprays you do really need to do outside. And as you can see, you know, most things, I've never had anything where the drills have all come off when I've used a brush on them. They've been fairly good. Teresa is doing a test on 2 sealers now. So she's going to let us know. Teresa does have a YouTube channel. I'll put her channel on the screen. Paula tells me that she only ever uses the Craft Buddy one as she finds it seals really good. And she was wondering how the one with the sponge works. Yeah, I suppose it's what you get used to, but I do prefer more control with the brush that I've just used. Sarah is saying that she uses a sealer from Temu. It's brilliant stuff and comes with a spatula or the pink edged brush. So I'm not quite sure which one Sarah's got. Michelle says that she uses Mod Podge on all of her diamond painting coasters. She's tried a few, but they gave her a headache from the really strong smell. Now, I'm very bunged up, so I can't smell anything at the moment. I may have to get hubby to tell me what they do smell like. And Team JLG was saying she was the lady that said about leaving the Mod Podge, the outdoor Mod Podge, and leaving things outside. And she says it is wet in the UK. So yeah, and she said that they're all okay being put outside. So that sounds really, really good, which is why I did get the outdoor one, because I did think it would be quite nice to maybe put one of my wreaths on my doors. But I can't do that, obviously, because of our horrible UK weather. But if it's going to be okay, yay! Okay, so thank you for all those comments. I do love reading all your comments, and I do get back to you as soon as I can. And I've been a bit lax in the last week. I don't know what's happened this week. Time has just flown by. Oh, this seems very liquidy. Now, this is Mod Podge. So I've used it on doing decoupage and doing decoupage, you know, where you're sticking paper onto things. Patchwork, not patchwork. Oh, what are they called? Scrapbook pictures. And yeah, I've used it on that, but I've never used it for this. So yeah, basically a sealer is just, as I say, like grouting. So you're wanting to get it in between each tile. It does spread a long way. And this one does seem to be now going a long way. It's maybe because I'm using newer brushes that the first part wasn't spreading very well. But yeah, this is going on. So I am making sure I get all of the edge. And as you can see, I'm not being overly gentle with the drills, but neither am I pressing too hard because I don't want them to come off. Right, but it's not a problem. If an odd one does come off, you can just then use a little bit of sealer and put it back on again. So I tend not to seal any of my cards. Somebody asked me about my greetings cards. Unless I'm actually sending a greetings card to a child, then no, I don't put any sealer on the cards. Now, obviously, again, that's personal preference. Quite a few of mine do go through the post, and quite a few of mine have actually gone, as you maybe know if you've been with me a while, I've got a niece in Australia and a nephew in Japan. And I have sent them diamond painted items, diamond painted cards and things through the post. And the gems, the diamonds haven't come off, the crystals haven't come off. So they have been fine. Right, so that is the Mod Podge. So I think I've given that a good brush over. Really brush it in so it gets in between the crystals. I mean, the crystal is already stuck down, so what you are actually doing is just literally making sure that the drills are sticking more or less to each other, to be honest. So it's, all I can liken it to is grouting tiles, you know, when you have to put the white bits in between your tiles. Right, so we'll do an acrylic one of that one as well. So just a little bit. I suppose I could put these, oh, I think that's going to be too much as well. Heavy-handed Harry as I am. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to maybe put these into tubs. Albeit maybe it would dry out if I did that. So, yeah, and it's just a case of working it round. Make sure you do get the edges. And get round there. It was my mum's birthday at the weekend, so I did her a birthday card. I used my Beatrix Potter Mrs. Tiggy Winkle card, and I cut the front. It was Craft Buddy Mrs. Tiggy Winkle, and I cut the front off the card because I didn't just want an 8x8 card. I like to do my mum a bit more of a statement because yeah, she's aging nicely as my mum. So yeah, I put it onto an A4 card and just put some backing and some little bits of embellishment and stuff, and then I just like to put my own verses in the middle. So I'll put a photograph of that in this video so you can see that as well. It's quite good fun to do. I will do a card making video, but at the moment I just seem to be meeting myself coming backwards. And by the time I think, oh no, I've got to do a card, yeah, I need to rush and do it. I haven't really got time to film making it. I just need to get it done. I need to get organised, you know, and I've got all the birthdays and everything on a calendar. And I'm constantly looking at the calendar because of all hubby's hospital appointments and things. We're back at the doctor's again tomorrow for a blood test, and Millie is going for a haircut tomorrow. So yeah, everything's happening tomorrow. I think we've got my friend coming to stay as well. She's on annual leave from work, so she's coming to see us. Right, okay. So that's that one. So as I say, we're doing this one on wood and one on acrylic to see the difference, how they dry and how they turn out. This one is already dry and clear. These seem, they're still very tacky, to be fair. I normally leave everything overnight. If I want to be sure that something has dried properly, I leave it overnight. I have a great big A1 cutting mat that was actually for dressmaking, but I got it as a bargain buy one day. So I've used it for like a table topper when I'm doing things like this on my table downstairs. And yeah, it's served me really, really well. I got it at a very, very good price. So I tend to leave things on there drying, and I just leave it till the next day. And particularly if I'm doing something that's double-sided, I do one side one day and then I have to do the other side the next day, because they do stay a little bit tacky. And again, even though it's raining and it has cooled off a bit here, it is still quite humid. I'm just thinking I might do the outdoor one on a separate project, because I might get one of my Christmas wreaths out from last year that I haven't sealed, and then I hang it outside and see what happens to it. So I'm not going to use that on this video because I think it will just literally be exactly the same as the normal Mod Podge, albeit it has got, oops, just pop that back in there. It has got a pot that you can actually dip your brush into. Normally I think these are sort of the standard containers for all your different Mod Podges. There's a dishwasher safe one, there's all sorts. Oh, I could use this actually on the cup one. Yeah, my diamond painting cup that I've got, you know, the little tumbler. I thought the outdoor one would probably be waterproof to use on that, so I think that will probably get used on there. Okay, so I'll do that possibly in the next video. So I'll just do the Craft Buddy ones now. So we are just testing the 5 different ones. Okay, so that is that one. Right, making sure they don't stick to the desk either, because I do tend to go over the edges a little bit. Right, let's do the slightly bigger ones with the little bees in a moment. Right, so just standard Craft Buddy sealer. This is my favourite, and this is the one I use all the time, to be fair. So get a good brush. Just make sure you haven't got any hairs coming off the brush, because you know you don't want to find that you've got hair or whatever in your projects. it's not a good look. All right, this, as you can see, I've used half of it already. Keeping the lid on, it does keep it nice and soft. I usually just give it a little bit of a swish round just to give it a little bit of a helping hand, just to get it going again, because it's been stood for quite a while. Okay, and wipe the excess off. This actually is a little bit solid. I really ought to use a brand new one, oughtn't I? So that it's fair, because this one's a little bit old. Well, I say old, it's one that I opened at Christmas. So, and this does go on white, so you can see exactly where you are. It does look like grout, because it does go white in between the tiles. I can get the edge really, really well where it's still sticky. Okay, and then just dip in and get a little tiny bit. Now, you can add a little bit of water to this if you do want to. You've just got to be careful that by putting water in, you are thinning it down and you may create bubbles. I know some people like to make it go that little bit further doing that, but yeah, it can create bubbles, and you don't want bubbles either. And I must admit, I've never had a bubble using this sealer. So yeah, I should have opened a new one so that it's fair, because this is making it look as though it's quite hard to put down, but actually it's not. Okay, so honey, yeah, just get all the way around the edge. So these plastic tweezers are great for things like this, because it stops you getting it on your hands quite so much. Okay, so I do need to get these coasters done. If you could see the pile of coasters that I've still actually got to diamond paint, you'd think, Liz, you're starting your own shop or your own factory. Okay, just go around those edges. Yeah, by putting it on the edges, you're just taking away the sticky as well. Because I suppose when it's in a factory, you know, I mean, they're doing them for the price. I wouldn't like to have to make some of these things for the price that they charge. So, you know, I just think, well, if, you know, taking your time doing something and making sure the glue doesn't go over the edge, you know, that's time that's, you know, you could have been making something else. So I can understand why they just put the glue over the whole thing. You know, and they can probably get another 2 out in the time it would take for somebody to do one. You're doing it as precision, as it were. Unless they use machines, but I'm not sure that they do. I don't know. But yeah, so it's all got to be done for a cost. And I don't mind. So that's that one. Now we want the acrylic one. Okay. Yep, these have got like a white background. They have got the corks to go with them as well on these. So yeah, you do get a cork back into join in with it. Okay. Right. Get a splodge. I usually start in the middle, to be honest, and work my way out, because if you start on the edge with a big blob, it's not quite so easy to work it in. Or that's what I've found anyway. Maybe you have a different technique, but this is mine. As you can see, again, not using a huge amount of force, but you know, there's nothing coming off. But I do tend to, I don't do something and then seal it that very same day. I do think with some of the poured glue items and poured glue canvases, that the glue, once you take the cover sheet off, can still be a little bit runny, a little bit too soft underneath. So by leaving it to out in the air, once you've done your project, once you've done your picture, sometimes you find that it becomes more solid. You know, if you find that when you're putting your gems on that they're slipping around too much, just leave the cover sheet off for a while and then go back and put your gems on afterwards. You know, it's like anything else. If they've not left it long enough to sort of cure in the factory, then you may find that it does just need that little bit more time, I suppose, to more, well, not dry, but yeah, to cure, to be usable. And again, once you've done your project and you've got your gems on, crystals, your drills, whatever you're using, then again, if you leave it just that little bit, then you may find that they've gone a little bit more solid, because I do think the gems on these were a little bit slidey, but I mean, they are not moving anywhere now, so I think that they've solidified, as it were. The glue underneath, the poured glue, has dried that little bit. So I think that has probably done that one. So we've had one B1 and one acrylic one wooden one and one acrylic one in each of the sealers. Okay, oops, just take that brush off there a second. Right, so the crystal one. Oh, look, it's still all runny. Yeah, these mats want a really good wash. They will wash out, and your brushes will wash out just with warm soapy water or just warm plain water, depending on what you want to use. But yeah, you know, it is water-based, it's water-soluble. Right, okay, so I'm going to have a go at using the sponge on this one, and let's see how this goes. So that's our standard Craft Buddy crystal. I'll have to take a screenshot of this as well so that I know what order I did them in, because knowing me, I'll probably muddle them all up and then think, which one did I do that one on? Right, so I'm not a huge fan of sponges, but we'll see how this one goes. It's not doing too bad, actually. Less is more, particularly doing something like this. You know, you don't really want to have to be taking any off like I did earlier. Yeah, it's okay. I don't feel as though I'm quite in control of it as much as I was when I was using the brush, although it does seem to be going in quite well. This doesn't really look very glittery, but it's maybe as it dries it goes glittery. But I just thought, because the background is so stark and stands out so much, that maybe having the glitter sealer on it, the glitter shimmer as they call it, will just detract from that very white background. Well, it's wooden, isn't it? Wooden background. Okay. So you don't need it on too thick either. Craft Buddy actually recommend that once you've put the sealer on, that you then, with a cloth, a non-lint cloth or a dry baby wipe or something like that, take the excess off the gems. But to be honest, because it dries clear, I have never found that I've needed to do that. I do wipe some bits, you know, that like on a notebook or something, and you're just doing the thing in the middle. I do, so, you know, find that you do sometimes need to wipe off those bits. But certainly on something like this, I don't take a cloth to it. I just leave it to dry. So, you know, again, personal preference, and I just think it's a little bit of a waste taking it off. Right, I'm going to try the brush now and see how we go with the brush. Let me just get another brush. It's a good job I've got 5 brushes. And yeah, no, I can go a lot faster with the brush. I've got a lot more control over it. I wonder why that sealer said don't go backwards and forwards. I wonder if it's because they think it will take the gems off. Because I've always gone different directions. And I mean, I turn mine round as well while I'm doing it. So, very different. Okay. So I think I might have too much there, but it will stay on the brush a little bit as well, as I can testify when I take my brushes out. Right. Yeah. Oops, that gem's just coming off slightly there. That wasn't from using the brush. That's probably from me picking it up and handling it. So it would be interesting to see. I'm just going to do all 4 of these because I do just want to see what the shimmer crystal will look like. And these are my least favourite ones, so I won't gift these if they don't turn out right. I will just keep them myself. Alright, so I'm sure the green one will look really good. Okay, I wonder if this needed mixing up. I wonder if all the glitter's gone to the bottom because I've not used it for such a long time. Albeit I have got some on my hands, haven't I? So, yeah. Oh, I love these tweezers for this. I knew I'd find a use for the plastic tweezers eventually. I certainly have never used them for diamond painting. They're very good as well if you do any heat embossing, or you're using your heat gun on anything, or your glue gun for holding things. It's an excellent thing for that as well, because it saves your fingers no end. And yeah, you've got so many in your kits that you know, you can just suppose throw them away if they get too clogged up, as it were. But again, you can just rinse them with water. As you can see, it's so much easier. Can you tell which one I normally use and which one I'm used to? Yeah, I suppose we all go back to what we're used to, but I just wanted to try the others as well. I will use the others and I will use those up, but I just yeah, will probably, and I think we worked out price per milliliter as well was actually cheaper from Craft Buddy, so I will just continue using it. They do sometimes have special offers on Craft Buddy. They had earlier on this year a 30% off on the site. I'm presuming that included the sealer as well, so you know, look out for those days if you join up to they have like a newsletter. And at the moment, as new things are coming out, you can sign up and get like exclusive access to things early. When they launched the new Disney stickers, if you'd signed up, they sent you a code number so that you could order the day before everybody else and things like that. So it's worth signing up. I suppose it's so, you know, for their marketing purposes, they get used to what everybody's doing and whether people are going to be interested or not. It just gives them a little bit of a heads up, as it were. Right, now I want a wooden one. So I think I'll do this wooden one, because I think this would be quite nice with a little bit of glitter in it as well, because it's very posh. I think this one was from One Day Saving. As I say, if there is any that you're wanting to know where I got them from, let me know. It would be too long a list to put everything down below. So if you let me know, and I'll try and dig it out and give you the reference for it. If it's still available, I am finding that quite a few of my older videos now, the things are no longer available, because there's so much new coming out. I don't know if you've seen the new Christmassy ranges that they've got coming out. They're absolutely amazing. I'm loving the fact that they're selling things in sets now as well. Most of the companies now, if there's a set of 4 pictures, you don't just have to buy the one. If you want to save a bit of money and get them all at once, if you've got the money to do so, then you can buy all 4 at once at a discounted price. And I just think that's really, really good. Okay. Right, so that is that one done as well. So that's 5 different sealers from 4 different companies that we've tried. It will be interesting, as I say, to see how they do come out. I'm now going to finish the other coasters off camera, and I will then come back to you and let you see these when they are dry, and we can see what they look like. Okay, bye for now. Hi everyone, Liz here, back again. Right, so it's actually been 2 days since I sealed these now, because we had a power cut yesterday with all the bad weather, so I didn't get a chance to film. I had hubby at the doctor's in the morning, so yeah, it all just got a little bit chaotic. So let's have a look at these coasters. Now then, that Land Debbie diamond painting sealer was the toe at the end here. So I think this was the AliExpress one. They've dried fine, as you can see, nice and sparkly. No problems with those. And that's the acrylic one. Now I did find with the very liquid sealers, the one from AliExpress and the one from Amazon, this diamond painting sealer, there's no name on this one. I did find that the acrylic took a lot longer to dry. I know they said, what was it, 30 minutes, leave it. So these have been 2 days, but the first evening that I did it and left them to dry, the middles were still very tacky. It was as though they were taking longer to dry because it was like an acrylic underneath, a non-porous surface. So I think that was the reason for that. This one was, I said, the second one, the diamond painting sealer. That's just gone, yeah, a little bit rough on the edges there. I'm not overly impressed with that. It still feels a little bit tacky to me on the wood bits that were tacky because the glue had been put all over. So that, to me, I'm going to have to put probably some Craft Buddy sealer over the top. So that's a little bit of a miss on that one. But these are fine, and the shine on them and everything is just great. Are they solid? Oh, they are moving a little bit, actually. Are they moving? Yeah, they are moving a little bit. And I thought I'd put too much sealer on. So they seem more solid. Oh no, they're not, look. They are still moving, so not brilliant. Right, the next one was the just standard Mod Podge. So let's have a look at the bee. The edges, yeah, they're okay. Just feel a little bit tacky, but they're certainly not. I think that's quite bad. I don't like that at all. That's quite rough, and it is very, very sticky. So I'm not happy with that. We'll have to put something else over it. Are these solid? No, they're moving as well. Now, it's quite a humid day, but that's quite worrying. Okay. And the acrylic one, yeah. Oh, no, they're still very movable. So let's have a look at the crystal art sealer one then. If this one hasn't worked, then it's the humidity, because oh no, these haven't dried at all. Oh, that's not good, is it? Maybe it's just the coasters then. All right, I'll have to leave those a little bit longer then. That's interesting, unless it's the material they're on. But the edges are a lot better. The Craft Buddy has sealed it a lot better. It's sort of a lot smoother and just clearer. So yeah, that's a little bit worrying. Not had that before. Okay. So let's have a look at the, oops, that's just my wolf having a little bit of a join in. Let's have a look at the Shimmer sealer. This is the one that has like a glittery green effect on it. And I think these have come out really, really well. It's taken away from that blank background, and I'm really pleased with how these have turned out. Really, really happy. It's just lifted them a little bit from being very plain and gappy to just giving them that extra sparkle and that little extra bit of interest. So, see, these are solid. Oh no, they're not. They are moving slightly, but they are more solid than the others. Okay. And then, no, so these need a lot longer to dry. I think it's the humidity. But again, I put this crystal sealer on that one. I do apologise, this was an acrylic one, but it is actually still a wooden one. But I did do the 5 in the glitter because I wanted to do the set all the same of the butterflies. So I'm not quite sure why they are still movable, but they are now nicely sealed anyway. So what I'll do then, I'll keep these on one side again, and I'll have a look at them in a few days' time and see where we are there. I don't really see any difference in the actual shine on any of them. They all seem to be okay. These are definitely a lot more movable than these. So it'd be interesting to see once they've all dried fully. And I say this is now 48 hours since I did the video. I'm not happy with this sealer on here, going over that bit. That is still very tacky. Looks really unfinished and not very nice at all. And the edges don't look smooth. So that one will have to be redone. But again, we'll see how it settles down a bit later on. It could be the humidity, I don't know. But I've never had some that have not really gone solid. Very, very strange. You see, this is a coaster that well, it's a decoration. It's on a coaster that I made myself, where I used my stickers to make a 3D owl. And as you can see, those are not going anywhere. They are fully solid on there with just a plain crystal. So why these have stayed tacky, I don't know. It was sort of the end of the tub on the Craft Buddy and it was a little bit thick, so whether it was that. But then the crystal sealer, the shimmer sealer, is still a new one. So okay, so interesting experiment. Oh, I have washed all my brushes out, look, just under warm water, and the sponge, the brushes, everything are all fine. They're all movable. That one's just got a little bit, yeah, once they do dry a little bit stiffer, but once you've just moved them around a bit, look, they're easy to move. And yeah, they're all washed out okay. The sponge is washed out okay, ready to use again. This was the cheapy brush that I had, that's okay. And the Craft Buddy brush has gone a little bit stiffer still. But yeah, so all I did was wash them and then leave them upside down in, well, actually it was a mug that I put them in. Because I find that if you leave them flat, if you've got any metal bits on, some of the metal bits can go a bit brown or a bit rusty. So if you leave them that way up, then any water rushes, well, runs to the end. I put some tissue paper in the bottom as well to soak up any excess. So the brushes have all cleaned as well. So I think that was quite interesting to do. As I say, just on the coasters, but obviously I'm going to have to do another follow-up. But I will leave this for now, otherwise this video's never going to get up. And it's a couple of days since I've posted a video. So, okay, well, I hope you've maybe learnt something or found something new out from looking at these. If you have and you've enjoyed watching this, a thumbs up is always very much appreciated. Any comments or questions in the comments down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you want to come back and join our little family, then if you press that subscribe button down in this corner and the all notifications bell that pops up, you'll be notified when any of my videos come up, so you're not going to miss anything. Yay! Okay, thanks ever so much for stopping by, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.